start. I'm sure Jim, my co-presenter, will turn up at some point. I'm hoping. Welcome to our little workshop. I think we'll make a start if that's okay, because we've got to be in our seats for a quarter past. And this is a little workshop. We're going to actually make you do a little bit of work. So we'll get on if that's okay. So we've got a little bit more time for talking. What I'd like to do is just I'll tell you a little bit about SNUG and what SNUG's been up to. Jim's going to tell us a wee bit about. It's all right. He'll appear after it. Yeah. And if he doesn't, what we'd like to do with you, this is quite magic. What we'd like to do is get you just to think a little bit about some of these questions, and we'll come back to those at the end, just to have a talk. Particularly what are some of the biggest problems, what are the biggest issues facing you in practice at the moment, particularly in relation to your IT systems. I can't sort out your complaining patients, and sort of we might try and think about solutions for some of the IT problems we have, and particularly what else SNUG as a user group, a national user group, could be doing for you as users. So just quickly, a little bit about SNUG. Just a little bit about what we do, who we are, what we're offering you as users, and Jim's going to say a little bit about the website. Most of you will know that SNUG evolved from what previously was the GPass users group, and it evolved in a way that reflected the fact that we've got now two principal GP system suppliers, but also that we're using a whole bunch of other bits and pieces of software in the practice, which is very important to our day-to-day work. And what we've tried to do is bring some of those issues to a variety of forums and through discussion, through review processes, and obviously sort of lobbying and participating in these groups. And I think the important thing for us is that we are very much independent. We're not, in the GPass days, we were clearly affiliated with GPass, but that's really not the case anymore. And we are entirely funded by you as members. So we're absolutely here to represent your views and try and promote the changes that you need to see. So that is kind of summarised, I suppose, in this mission statement, if you like, about promoting the systems that we use in general practice. SNUG is as previously, largely a collection of individuals based in regions, and we have regional coordinators in most of the health boards. The only place we are seeking a regional coordinator is Tayside, so if you're from Tayside, we'd really like to hear from you. We managed to fill our regional coordinator's post from Highland last night. Rosa agreed to do it. Somewhat the worse for drinking, perhaps she was, but anyway, she's yeah. she can't pull out now. Her name's on the dotted lines. But obviously we have involvement with a range of other groups, obviously SCIMP and BMA through SGPC, and the other national user groups participate in our meetings on a regular basis, and obviously we get lots of support from NISG because of that link to the change advisory process. So probably the most visible part of SNUG for you all will be the regional meetings, and we try to hold regular regional meetings in all parts of the country, and obviously these are free to you as a SNUG member. And Jim's going to tell us a little bit about the website in a minute. Beyond those, that sort of very visible face of what SNUG does in terms of organising these regional sessions, we participate in a range of different groups. But obviously, it's important for you to feel that you're getting some sort of value for your membership. And as I say, the attendance at meetings is free. It's not free, it's free your membership, obviously, that's part of the benefit. But also the newsletters and web updates and so on. So we feel that there's a reasonable range of benefits for your membership fee. And obviously we've had fairly protracted negotiations with the other national user groups, both EMIS and Vision, and we have come to a shared arrangement, albeit two slightly different models. EMIS, we have an affiliate membership, whereas with Vision we have a joint, if you're a member of both, you get a discount on both. So again, that took us quite a long time to sort out, but we feel that that's a reasonable position for us to be here.
Again, I asked last time, anyone here from the EMIS, using EMIS? Yep. Have you logged onto the national user group settings on the website? No.
Were you contacted from EMIS with the login? They've just not done it? Or? I don't remember.
I don't think we were contacted EMIS.
Right.
It might just be something. The reason I was asking
yeah.
is
Because I gave a list of all our SNUG members who used EMIS, and they would contact you with access to the web publisher.
should maybe ask our members if they've had details and then send the list back to the ones who say they don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that would be very useful. Maybe just need to check that up with them.
Yeah.
Most of the people last time seemed to be
So yeah, that's strange.
Slightly mixed bag, perhaps.
Yeah.
But we'll follow up.
Yeah, I think all right as well. So.
And obviously, a variety of the executive group participate in some of these. This is a horrible list of acronyms, but basically that is a list of the different groups that we
Worst thing is he knows what they all stand for.
Yeah, that's very sad. So really from the top, which is the Clinical Change Leadership Group, which is very much the clinical lead, the e-health clinical leads across Scotland, who come together to plan and supposedly implement government policy, e-health policy.
I think it's fair to say that that group pushed for the medicines reconciliation agenda. That was very much one of the things that we've pushed to try and achieve. It's now been taken on board.
And they've done a lot of stuff around the interface between primary and secondary care, obviously interested in referrals and portals and all that sort of thing. So it's very important that users have a voice in that area. Obviously, from a very practical point of view, we're involved in the contract, the GP contract framework agreement with the two system suppliers, and that's again a sort of monitoring group that look at whether or not the two system suppliers are actually doing what they're supposed to within the framework contract. The primary care portfolio management group is very much about the way the resources for primary care IT are used, and again that's a very important forum for us to ensure that we have a voice. Probably the most activity that has been around the Change Advisory Board, and I'm not sure how many of you heard Kevin and Bruce do their bit yesterday, but we're again very heavily involved in that whole change advisory process, and have very strong links with Kevin and his team, particularly in relation to managing requests for change. And the website is a pretty fundamental tool in that process, and Jim will say a wee bit about that. Obviously we're involved with SCIMP. The joint GPIT group is a UK national group. Jim, you go to that.
This is a combination of the Royal College and the GPC down south. It is mostly English dominated because obviously their system is different, but there's also representatives from Wales and Northern Ireland, and there's a lot more commonality in those three nations than there is in England, so much so that they're setting up what they're calling a Celtic IT group. inside there.
I mean, obviously there are a whole range of other groups that were involved in Sky Gateway User Group, and we've been doing some work with the Primary Care Directorate and ISD around the GP data extraction tool. Did any of you participate in the practice team information program? No. Or use the electronic questionnaire, the stuff that came from Aberdeen University? Well, those were two things that have been around for many, many years, and with the system change became more difficult. They were very much geared towards extracting information from GPath. And we've just completed a piece of work looking at a proposal to do data extraction from the two current system suppliers. So that's a very important piece of reporting work, particularly for national government. But there are opportunities for that to be used for practices as well. So that's some of the stuff that we get up to. I'm not in this talk spending time talking about specific systems for a short time. Do you want me to say about this website, Jim?
Website is probably our main means of communication. We are an IT group, so it'd be good to try and do things in an IT way. I was saying I very well remember when I was treasurer, sticking 800 or 900 letters into envelopes and putting stamps on, which is not always very rewarding. The website address is there. I'll show you some stats later on that Alex has compiled for us. But we think it's an area where we can add value to things, so there'll be all the details of when the meetings are coming up. There's a hints and tips section, there's a forum which probably not used as much as it might be.
It's viewed a lot, not a lot of people talk.
I think people are too shy.
Yeah.
So feel free to contribute. Never think you're asking a silly question. Bill Martin, one of the previous chairs, used to say, I'll just ask the daft laddie question. And often it wasn't daft at all. So never think it's silly to ask something. It's amazing what you can discover, things that you think, I hadn't thought of that or whatever. So please do that. You'll see there that we have a bit for requesting change. We also have the link to the SharePoint site for Kevin's stuff, where we can view the progress of things. We had a bit of discussion yesterday about whether we would want to publish the minutes, because at the moment I don't think they're visible from our link to the SharePoint site.
No. We're going to add that.
You're going to add it to your end of the link?
Yeah, no, we could show our stuff and try and get that link.
Yes, working better. Sure. Okay. There are, we try to cover not just EMIS and vision and in practice, but the DocMan and other areas as well, so any hints or tips for these would certainly be useful. We have some downloads for things like templates and protocols, etc. As you can see, the links to the newsletters, and we also publish all the things that we talk about, not necessarily are interested in lots of them, but at least we do make sure we're as transparent as we can be. This is your stats, isn't it? So we have 950 website members, of which over 80% are practice members actually. So it's a high usage. 400 hits a week is good. So you can sign up now at the bottom. Anyone here not signed up to it? Last time nobody admitted it, but we didn't know whether they just went to admit it or not. Glad everyone thinks they are at least. Alec tells me that if she's at her desk, she can get registered within a minute. So feel free for anyone else in the practice that might want to join that. I should say it at this point, just go back. The website's changing. It was previously hosted independently. We paid a separate commercial developer to look after it. It's now moving to be part of Show. It's going to be redesigned a bit. That will give us a bit more control over it and not have to wait for the developer to complete some work, because that wasn't a step, not to mention an added cost. Becoming more costly as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Over time. So we think the website is very important. We want you to use it as much as you can.
Okay?
Yep.
So I think probably got sort of just 10 or 15 minutes. What we'll do is, rather than divide you up, we'll use it as one, because otherwise it's going to take too much time. Just get that for all this. Okay. So really just an opportunity can you take notes and
Mhm,
it'll
yeah.
save me scribbling.
Yeah.
Just to reflect back to us, I think a little bit about what the specific issues or problems are that you feel need to be sorted, need to be addressed. Perhaps some thoughts about what some of the solutions might be, and perhaps some thoughts about what else you'd like SNUG to do. So give us your problems and we'll take them away and try and resolve some of them. You must have a problem.
Thanks.
Everybody's got problems. I'm just picking up somebody.
Well, training, I think, was what we were interested in, getting perhaps support for more training and practice. It seems to be very variable in its vision that we
Yeah.
use.
It was certainly something that we picked up last time in our group, which was there's training that says you press this button and it does that, but what people actually want is a better overview. If I want to do this, how do I set up the system to do it? Is that the sort of thing
That's the
that
sort of
you're
thing.
looking at?
Yes, yeah.
And we thought what we might be able to do is get practice to publish. We do this to do lab results. This is a process we use to describe it. Would that be helpful, do you think?
Yes,
It's
definitely.
maybe not formal training, but it's a guide as to how people make the system work from it.
Yes, yeah, no, that would definitely.
Sort of an extension of the hints and tips idea, or
Because I'm sure the stuff is all there and you could find it out, but it's just that takes an awful long time.
yeah.
If other people know how to do things more quickly or say this is an idea that's worked for us, then that would help our practice a lot.
That could be a new page.
Yeah, and a package for kind of all the systems, because being a GP trainer, this is a yearly event for me. It's a free tutorial effort to get them to go through emails, Sky Store, Sky Gateway, the whole kind of thing. So if you can get a kind of registrars or new locums to sort of guide the whole system, that'd be fabulous.
What I suggested, didn't seem to think was a bad idea, was that we maybe ask a different practice every month to describe a bit of the system that they use well. Just stick that on the website. Would that be useful, do you think? Any volunteers?
The only danger of that is that one practice may think that that's a good way of doing it, and if you publish it, that may not be the best way to do it, or other people, you got danger in that, but you're just putting one person's way of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's a description of something that works for them, and I think practices work differently, so that someone might describe something and I think, I won't do it because mine, I know that practice will say no. But at least it lets people see how the system can be used, I think. Because at the end of the day, we do all work differently. Everyone does things the same way. And one of the drawbacks, I think, because these systems are so complex, there is often more than one way of doing it. It's like in Microsoft, there's usually 3 or 4 different ways of achieving the same result. You have to find the one that suits you.
Okay, that's some thoughts about training. What other sort of particular issues are nipping your head at the moment, other than being up too late last night?
I think in UMIS, the amount of time it takes for the description is a big issue. It just seems to dominate a huge bit of a consultation.
I don't know so much the number of clicks and things that you have to do.
Both, I think from the number of clicks, just, you've got a patient in front of you talking, you want to do a description, and then you have to go to answer it, you have to do so many clicks and concentrate and realise that actually it feels like a couple of minutes have gone by sometimes just to actually.
Once you realise one of them's expired and they won't let you do anything at all.
So what sort of changes might help that?
Probably having it more one screen. I know it's a GPAS that looked at describing it and trying to get it down to just a few clicks and as much into one. Did everything almost on one screen, and then it seemed quicker.
I mean, obviously the way that the screen is sort of split up in the consulting room at the moment, there are various sort of windows, but some of them are obviously just view only, that they don't actually have any active link. I don't know, that might be. I don't know what that do. Sorry?
Some things that are links there, you just have to know when to use them. But I would suggest that you were using the mouse. I don't use the mouse when I'm using this, I always use keyboard shortcuts. And it infuriates me when I get
So if Alex were to phone you this week and ask you for your favourite 50,
I can
well, 20 then or just whatever. No.
I think it's probably advertising here as the shortcuts. I don't think it's known what they are as a problem. It's more maybe act like you say, like a process. You know, like pilot, and then you press F this, then you do dit, done. You know, and that's maybe something.
But there are some things as well, like, you know, restarting a prescription. Very often you restart to print it. In fact, don't have a restart print button instead of you have to restart the minutes and say, now I want to print it. You know, even though that's one of the options, it just seems daft to me, but it's an unnecessary process.
The other thing is there a way of kind of getting the other systems more integrated into them? So, say for example, from EMIS you can actually go into the SCIMP gateway convolutedly and do your referral, but can you link into the patient's record and SCIRS, into Sky Store, all of them? Is there a way of kind of getting from one to the other?
You can if you use an appropriate product.
Sales pitch coming on. Warning.
See, that was something I always missed after we read TMS that we didn't get. You know, something saying, just use CAM software, but I haven't got it. Doesn't work. I mean, I would certainly be interested in seeing it.
Well, we have a single sign-on solution.
Well, I'm using that.
Well, that's exactly what you're describing. I think some people don't use it to its full potential because you can set up hotkeys for it. So, for instance, if I'm in a patient record, I press Control F1 and I go straight to SkyDC to their record. You know, it automatically takes me straight to that patient record. So there are things that can do that, but depending on your board.
So for either side, so you don't get like blood results downloaded into
Oh yes, yeah, no, but it's more so, say I want to go into this lady's SCIRS record and go SCIRS rather than go into SCIRS, log in, find the patient, then try and make sure that you've got the right kind of so it's like SCIRS record.
I mean, the single sign-on solution does make that a hell of a lot easier.
How do you find it there?
So they're not.
There is a way to do it from the record, if that's possible. Because it must be possible, because you can do it from, you can do it Sky Gateway, so it must be possible.
I don't know, Rob, is there other opportunities there?
If you've got careful software, then yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
It does what it says in the tin.
Okay, maybe you need to go and delete them. Because you know, it works perfectly happily in some board areas.
What's it called again?
It's a single logo, just
Single
single
log.
one.
The only thing that's difficult to go to another PC, you can't read your passwords any longer.
Yes, yeah, it's good for doctors when they're
If you
using
set
it.
it up properly, you don't need it. Because the way, okay, technical from it, but the way it works is it stores your credentials on a SQL server. So no matter where you log in, you should get your own
You
password.
have to be logged onto the system as you.
Yes.
I'm talking about coming from my room and logging on to EMIS at the front desk. I think because my password can't remember. And that's the only
You've got to log onto the network as you, rather than as some generic front desk login.
or something else.
Okay, any more for any more?